First in high definition from the station on your side, this is WAVY News 10.
From Virginia Beach made the ultimate sacrifice.
Major Samuel Griffith was 5 weeks into his second tour in Afghanistan when enemy gunfire took his life. 10 on your side's Ann McNamara learned more about this local hero. Ann?
Nicole, Major Griffith was a Marine reservist assigned to the 4th Air Naval Gunfire Liaison Company, commonly known as Anglico. They were out of West Palm Beach, Florida. Now, he volunteered to go back to Afghanistan, not to fly, but to work on the ground and take on the risk of a far more dangerous job as an air controller.
This whole neighborhood is military, and we're all military.
In a military neighborhood in Virginia Beach, flags fly at half-staff for a friend.
Sam was definitely a genuine hero. He was the nicest guy I've ever met. Not a bad thing you could say about him.
Major Samuel Griffith lived here with his wife Casey and his 2 boys, 7-year-old Chad and Noah, who turned 6 today.
2 boys, and they're just great kids running around with all the other kids in the neighborhood.
Thousands of miles away in Florida, the flags fly at half-staff in a different neighborhood, where the Marines sent Major Griffith's dress blues, the home of his mother.
I never wanted it to be me, but here I am.
Kathy Bischoff says it was her son's dream to be a fighter pilot, and after living that dream for 15 years as a Marine, serving tours in both Iraq and Afghanistan, he volunteered to go back, this time on the ground, an officer in charge of his 4th Anglico attachment. Bischoff says Major Griffith's son wrote to him,
saying, Daddy, I don't want you to go to war, I don't want you to die.
Wednesday morning, the call came to Florida from Virginia.
And I said, what's wrong, Casey? And she said, 2 Marines were just here. And when she said that, what that meant.
The neighbors did too.
I noticed a lot of cars pulling up out front.
Not the cars they say Major Griffith liked to work on in his spare time, the kind that came to remember a life taken too soon.
We're going to miss him. We're going to miss him big time. Big loss to the court. I'm going to miss him.
Today we learned the Griffith family is very active in their church in Virginia Beach, and coming up at 6, you'll hear from their pastor who's organizing a memorial service there to remember him. Ann McNamara, 10 on your side.
The memorial service is set for Monday at 11 a.m. at the Vineyard Community Church on Expressway Drive in Virginia Beach. His family asks that memorial donations be given to the USO, the church, or your favorite charity in Griffith's name. The war in Iraq is over. What began with shock and awe in 2003 ended quietly today.
This has been a really hard last 8 years. All the innocent men, women, and children who have been lost in this terrible war. We had the best intentions, and I hope that Iraqis know that from the bottom of my heart.
We'll take you to the ceremony marking the end of the mission tonight on WAVY News 10 at 5:30.
More than 200 people in Chesapeake just got their water back on because a water main break on Taylor Road near Lyndhurst Boulevard left their spigots dry, and crews spent all day working on it. And on your side, Surrey Crow has been there as well. Surrey, the water's been off since what, 9 o'clock this morning?
That's right, Tom, since 9 this morning, and I'm sure you can hear the commotion behind me. Crews have been working nonstop since 9 o'clock this morning. About 265 homes and residents were without water this morning. And let me show you, here's the crack that caused all the trouble for these folks. Take a look at what went on all day long as the City of Chesapeake crews worked really hard to repair it.
This bump was one of the first signs that trouble was brewing underneath Taylor Road. Seeping water, confirmation that a water main had broken. Soon, businesses and nearby subdivisions at the intersection of Taylor and Lyndhurst Boulevard were completely shut off from water, creating headaches for them and their customers. And with a big water main break, city crews shut down the traffic flow too.
Our main priorities are to get water restored to all the customers that we have out here. We have about 265 customers out of service.
The tough part, finding the actual location of the leak. But once crews found the big crack in the old cast iron pipe, the repair work was on.
What do you think happened?
I'm not sure. The water main's probably about 40 years old. I don't know if age had something to do with it, but we're not sure until we get down to the water main.
Now, once the crews are done removing the old damaged piece of pipe, they'll take this brand new one, splice it in, and they'll be good to go. It's been an all-day ordeal, but Public Utilities' Ted Gardy says hold tight. The city cavalry is working as quickly as they can to get both the water and traffic flowing again.
We're going to work it until it's back and they're back in service, and then we're going to work right after that to get the roadway back in service as fast as we can.
Now again, the terrific news, the water is back on. The main break has been repaired. The big problem now is the traffic. The eastbound section of Taylor Road is still closed down. What the crews are working on right now behind me is repairing the road. It's a big crevasse down there where the water main pipe, this pipe right below me, was. So that's what they're going to be doing. They will not leave this area until the pipe is repaired. Coming up at 6, we talked to some folks who have been impacted by this inconvenience. We'll have their stories at 6. Live in Chesapeake, Surrey Crow, 10 on your side.
Norfolk Public Schools are getting an intervention. Educators are paying the Northern Virginia Company Crisis Prevention Institute $18,000 to train employees. This after several school security officers used pepper spray to break up fights. 10 on your side's Melanie Woodrow joins us now from the newsroom with more. So Melanie, that $18,000 only covers training for 10 employees. Why is that?
That's right, Nicole. Well, the plan is for those 10 to in turn train other educators in each school. A Norfolk Public School spokesperson said that it is a tried and true way of training, but at least one parent felt that all Norfolk educators should be trained from the source. 3 pepper spray incidents in Norfolk Public Schools this past November and 2 more over the course of the year.
It was kind of bad because when they used the pepper spray, they had to evacuate everyone.
Have children and parents talking.
I feel like they're trying to handle it the best they can. I know it's pretty rough for the teachers and the staff.
Out-of-control fights in the hallway and cafeteria, including here at Blair Middle School, have prompted school security officers to break out the pepper spray. Angelia Waddell's 11-year-old twin girls and 13-year-old son go to Blair.
There could be kids that are highly allergic to it, and everyone don't have the same reaction to that.
Which is why Norfolk schools agreed to review the policy. Ahead of January's decision, Interim Superintendent Mike Spencer announced 10 employees will receive training in nonviolent intervention techniques. In turn, they will train others.
The same ones that are training the 10 employees should train everyone. It's like passing one thing to another. Everyone don't teach the same thing, and they twist things, change, leave things out, and that could lead to a lot of misunderstanding.
A Norfolk Public School spokesperson said the district is confident in this system of training and excited, as is Waddell's 11-year-old daughter, Jada, who sees fights this way.
It can lead to injuries and deaths, and I know most parents don't want their children to die because they want them to have bright futures.
The 10 employees chosen are from across several divisions, including school security, pupil personnel, academic affairs, and professional development. On January 27th, those 10 employees will train all other Norfolk resource officers, assistant principals, and deans. In the newsroom, Melanie Woodrow, 10 on your side.
The school board has said it will decide in January whether or not security officers should continue to carry pepper spray. Norfolk is the only city in Hampton Roads that arms its security officers with pepper spray.
A $662 billion defense bill. It's going right to President Obama's desk because the Senate approved it. Legislation that cleared the House last night. That bill authorizes money for military personnel, weapon systems, the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, and national security programs in the Energy Department. A lot going on there. It's $27 billion less than the president wanted for the Pentagon and other accounts. And something extra in the stocking for Virginia state workers in time for next Christmas. That's if Governor McDonnell has his way. The governor wants to save enough money to provide nearly $80 million for a bonus. It would average about 3%. It's similar to the one-time bonus state workers got back in 2010 after state agencies found millions in savings. Next year's bonus would not increase salary. State employees have gone years without a permanent pay raise. After 5 months of watching and waiting, police raid several homes in York and James City counties. We'll tell you what forced them to call in hazmat teams.
And a military jet crash in Virginia Beach today, but it's only a test. We'll tell you about the mission in this scenario.
Some holiday presents will never make it under the tree because they'll get lost in the mail. But we're on your side with some packing do's and don'ts.
And it doesn't seem like the holidays at all. Temperatures today, absolutely gorgeous. We were pushing 70 throughout much of the area. Here are the temperatures into Norfolk for today, into the upper 60s. What's going to be for tomorrow? It'll feel like the holidays. We'll tell you about that in just a few minutes.
You're watching WAVY News 10 at 5 with Tom Shad, Nicole Ribas, and Super Doppler 10 Chief Meteorologist Don Slater.
Hey, this is Private First Class Conwell. I'd like to say hello to my mom and dad. I'm currently in Camp Casey, Korea. Everyone at home, Newport News, Virginia, have a happy holiday.
Post office lobbies are busy.
Really? I wonder why. People are waiting in line to ship off those holiday presents, but sometimes those packages don't make it. We're on your side to make sure that your box doesn't get lost in the mail. First tip, it's simple. Write the address in black or blue ink. Always add your return address.
Also, tape your package all over, including over the label. You don't want it to fall off or get smudged in the rain. And don't use string. It'll get caught in the automatic equipment. And put an address label inside the box.
Well, you probably have packages delivered to your front door.
And they are a target of thieves. Some Grinches will follow delivery trucks to see where they're going and then come back and swipe the packages left behind.
Police say track your packages online. Have someone retrieve them if you're not home during the day, or have them delivered to your workplace.
Tens of thousands of drivers still have to take a detour today, one day after this. We'll tell you what may have sparked this freeway fireball.
A disaster drill, just in case. You'll see how it's helping the military and first responders prepare for a real emergency.
Now, in high definition, your Super Doppler 10 forecast with Chief Meteorologist Don Slater.
Obviously, a gorgeous day throughout the area. It was the kind of day you could almost have you could have had the windows open throughout the area, but that's going to be changing. It's still December out there. Here's a look at what's going on right now on Super Doppler 10 Live. We've got some rainfall way out off to the northwest, and that rainfall is not going to get here for a while. It's not likely to get here for about 24 hours. We're not likely to see rainfall until tomorrow late in the afternoon. Now, here's where the rain is. We could see a little bit of this skip across the northern neck, Accomack County and the eastern shore, but the majority of our area, no rainfall overnight or for the first part of the day tomorrow. There's colder air out there. It's up toward Chicago, really all the way toward Cleveland, and that'll start to sink into the area tomorrow. During the morning hours, by 11 o'clock, the noon hour, we're likely to see some the cold air move on into the region, and we'll see northerly winds pick up for a time as well. Much cooler by tomorrow afternoon. There is some scattered rain out there, but this is the area of rain that's likely to get us tomorrow night. It's way out off into Arkansas and the northern Gulf Coast states, but that's going to slide northeastward, and late tomorrow afternoon, more likely tomorrow night, that'll move on through, and we'll see some clearing during the day coming up on Saturday. It'll be cooler Saturday too. Much cooler though coming up for tomorrow. It'll be about 20 degrees cooler coming up by Saturday. Not much as far as cloud cover to the area right now. We'll see those clouds move in overnight. 15, 20 mile an hour winds at 9 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. 15, 20 mile an hour winds. Still no rain. We move to 7 o'clock in the morning. There's some rain toward the eastern shore. Light westerly winds, but those winds become northerly pretty quickly during the late morning hours. They'll kick in at 15 to 20 for a time and then drop back right away to around 10 miles an hour. But by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we're likely to see some scattered rainfall into the region. There's where we are by 7 o'clock in the evening. You note these pink-purple colors way on up into here. There's a mixture mixture of rain, sleet, and snow, and they may get some solid snow up toward the D.C. area coming up tomorrow night. Now, for our area by midnight, no, that's not likely. It'll be in the upper 30s, around 40, so we're not looking at the threat of snow whatsoever. There's where we are by 7 o'clock Saturday morning. Saturday at the noon hour, 10 to 15 mile-an-hour winds, and the way we start to clear off during the day on Saturday. Now, how much rain do we get? The bulk of that rain is in this swath right through here from the Middle Peninsula westward toward Richmond, the Lynchburg area, but we could see a third of an inch of rainfall into the area. Beautiful sunset. Tom likes these sunsets. He likes our tower cam right now. And here's what we've got going on through the area right now. Beautiful sunset. Temperatures basically into the low to mid 60s after high temperatures well into the 60s for today. We're going to see temperatures stay warm overnight. First part of the day tomorrow, but tomorrow afternoon will drop from 59 and will be about 49 by the end of the day. Yes, we've got some scattered rain, and then 48. That's it with clearing skies on Saturday.
Well, it's been 25 years since a military jet at Naval Air Station Oceana was involved in a deadly crash. But first responders always have to brace for the unexpected. Crews from Virginia Beach and Chesapeake joined the Navy for a what-if scenario and invited 10 on Your Side's Art Kahn to watch. Art.
It is unthinkable, but not impossible. A Navy jet unable to make the return trip to Oceana has crashed near Back Bay in Virginia Beach. This is only a drill, but first responders are treating it like the real thing.
We got 2 patients burns. I don't know the extent of burns.
What do we have with this one?
So 1 triage classified red, 2nd degree burns, head, face, put a C collar on you. I'm gonna get you packing stuff and get you out of here.
Emergency personnel from Virginia Beach will probably be the first on the scene in the event of a crash off the base, which is why they are out here training with their counterparts from the Navy.
We're totally reliant on all the cooperation. The first responders have to come from the surrounding community.
Those first responders from the community will be in another world dealing with an emergency like this.
You want to see it to feel safe?
There are specific responder issues in dealing with aircraft that they wouldn't normally face,
like unexploded ordnance and extremely flammable composite materials. Virginia Beach Fire Chief Tim Riley.
We have to be prepared for worst case scenarios.
Which is why this exercise involves multiple victims, both on land and in the water, in both Virginia Beach and neighboring Chesapeake.
The key is exercising the regions, not just Virginia Beach, not just Oceana, but regional preparation.
Preparing for the worst and hoping a day like this never really happens. The Navy and the city of Virginia Beach hold this exercise every year, but today was the first time such a drill has taken place involving both Chesapeake and Virginia Beach. Art Kahn, 10 on Your Side.
And Chesapeake was also involved in this drill because Fentress Airfield is located there.
Well, on your side with a 10 time saver traffic alert on Sunday. VDOT will close the high-rise bridge on Interstate 64 in Chesapeake at 7 a.m. for maintenance. The closure will last about 3 hours. VDOT recommends drivers use the I-264 downtown tunnel as an alternate. How safe do you feel in your car?
Automakers put to the test in dozens of models or top picks. We'll tell you what that all means and how you can find out how your ride ranks.
Thousands of lives lost, and nearly a decade later, the U.S. marks the end of the Iraq War. Still ahead at 5:30, a look back and what it means for our troops. Take a look at this fireball on a California highway. A tanker truck carrying 9,000 gallons of fuel exploded on the 60 freeway near Los Angeles. The flames were so intense, they damaged the overpass there. More than 200 firefighters worked to put that fire out. Authorities say the overpass will be shut down indefinitely. It needs to be demolished and rebuilt. More than 200,000 drivers take this freeway every day. It's believed the tanker's brakes overheated and sparked that explosion. 115 cars, trucks, and SUVs are among the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety's top picks for 2012. That means they'll protect you in a serious front, side impact, rear impact, or rollover crash. Every major automaker has at least one model on the list. Subaru is the only manufacturer earning awards for every model it builds. Is your vehicle a top safety pick? We posted a link to the crash test results on WAVY.com.
Well, the cable guy was working in the basement of a home when he realized he wasn't alone.
And ended up throwing the light, throwing my tools, and ran out.
Yeah, we're going to show you what sent that worker running for the door.
A fight continues on Capitol Hill tonight. Coming up at 5:30, how a deal could keep your payroll taxes from going up by almost $1,000.
Seconds. All right. All right.
Hey, Matt. Check. 1, 2.
Hello, Matt.
Well, this is Oregon, where firefighters had to break the ice for a young deer. The doe fell through a pond and then struggled to get out. Firefighters got there by boat and they had to cut through the ice. And the deer, well, it swam to shore and then disappeared into the woods. So much for gratitude. A cable TV repairman earned his service fee after discovering a 500-pound bear asleep in the basement. The guy in New Jersey said he was just doing his job when he heard something.
I heard the growls and heard him growling, didn't even know what it was. Kept on working and heard it a few more times and just kept on working and flashed my light around and finally saw him and ended up throwing the light, throwing my tools, and ran out.
Like I said, run out there too. The bear left the house before Fish and Game officials got there. Crews found the animal and tranquilized him for relocation, but it's still not clear how the bear got into the home. Most importantly, no one was hurt. Stay with us. WAVY News 10 at 5:30 starts right now.